We live in an era of healthcare accountability, where putting smart, proactive measures in place to help prevent undesired outcomes will separate the leading hospitals of tomorrow from those that are left behind. Our goals are to reduce the risk of costly hospital-acquired infections, surgical site infections, and improve overall environmental safety in healthcare environments. At Aerobiotix, we believe smart hospital environments create healthcare value. The challenges facing hospitals are significant, with 1.7 million hospital-acquired infections annually. 1 in every 31 patients are affected, with an annual cost of $40 billion. It may surprise you that on average there are 250 bacterial colonies per cubic meter of hospital air. Nowhere in the hospital is air quality more important than the operating room. The sterile field is subject to strict hygiene and quality standards to keep the risk of infection to a minimum. Studies have shown that even with these standards in place, OR air can be filled with significant levels of bacteria, spores, and viruses, which can be transferred from the environment to the surgical site. One of the leading causes of contamination is through bioaerosols. These particles can contain active bacteria, spores, and viruses made worse by human activity in the room, including wiping down surfaces, mopping, and other forms of cleaning. Surgical smoke plume can carry volatile organic compounds and other hazardous particles, including bacteria and gaseous compounds known to cause cancer if inhaled. The staff in the operating room are exposed to smoke, equivalent to approximately 30 cigarettes each day. VOCs in the operating room can also come from mixing bone cements and waste anesthetic gases. Even proper control of temperature and relative humidity contribute to poor OR air quality. Laminar flow ventilation systems installed above the operating room table blow air downward to create a cleaner air zone around the surgical table. However, these systems leave a ring of contaminated air around the clean air of the surgical table, called the dirty donut. This air can contaminate anything that enters the space, including people, surgical drapes, instrumentation, implants, gloves, and surgical tables. All these aspects have the potential to move from the dirty donut into the sterile field. Even with positive airflow systems in place, when a door opens in the operating room, it causes particles to stir and spread. This movement increases the chance of airborne microbes to contaminate surfaces or move directly into the sterile field. The people in the OR are the dirtiest aspect of the room and are the main sources of contamination. Bacteria shed from the skin can become airborne. The circulating nurse and anesthesia provider move freely in the dirty donut, adding to the disturbance in this zone and increasing the risk of clean zone contamination. Instrumentation is often on the edge or outside of the laminar airflow. The surgeon and scrub nurse disrupt this airflow during their intraoperative workflow. To disinfect the operating room air effectively, it's imperative to remove contaminated air and replace it with clean air as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, regular hospital ventilation systems provide the bare minimum amount of support and are not designed to address the air within the dirty donut. This leads to two main concerns. Surgical site infections are the second most common type of hospital-acquired infection, accounting for over 8,000 deaths each year. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid have stopped reimbursements for additional charges related to SSIs, placing the financial burden on hospitals. Today, operating rooms are experiencing faster turnover times for procedures with more personnel, activity, and equipment. The surgical team is particularly vulnerable to health issues due to the contaminants in OR air, which have proven negative health effects. Perioperative nurses report 2 times the incidence of respiratory problems compared to the general population, with high workers' compensation costs as well as associated costs and time to fill empty positions. One of the most common occupational injury for registered nurses is caused by exposure to airborne contaminants. To combat the hazards of the OR, Aerobiotix developed Illuvia Sense, a surgical air disinfection device labeled for reducing risk of infection. Its proven non-turbulent air filtration has the power to eliminate microbes instead of solely collect them like modern ventilation systems. Advanced data collection and output abilities enable proactive air quality management. The Illuvia Sense is used by leading centers for excellence to reduce the risk of infections and improve environmental safety. It runs continuously, even in occupied rooms, and does not interrupt existing workflows. Medical personnel can work in confidence, knowing Illuvia Sense is there, quietly working in the background for their safety and the safety of the patient. Aerobiotix uses proven UVGI technology, HEPA filters, and proprietary filters to inactivate dangerous air contaminants. The disposable copper and carbon cartridge captures larger particles, ensuring optimal efficiency of the system. Illuvia features a UVC reaction chamber to slow and trap organisms, which are inactivated by the UV light. The remaining inactive particles are caught in a medical-grade HEPA filter, preventing them from returning to the air. Illuvia's technology is proven to inactivate 99.9% of bacteria, viruses, and spores in the air. Illuvia Sense is ideally suited for procedures where risk of infection is the highest, such as orthopedic, spine, cardiac, and reconstructive surgeries. Illuvia Sense helps address the dirty donut by reducing the risk of surgical site infections, extended length of stay, and readmissions, elevating environmental safety for patients and clinicians, and enhancing efficiency through actionable data insights for air quality in the OR. There are multiple peer-reviewed studies indicating the effectiveness of Illuvia Sense. These studies have shown the device to significantly reduce total particle count by up to 73%, and has shown to significantly reduce the risk of infection. Illuvia Sense is equipped with integrated sensors that track air quality metrics like particulate count, room pressure, CO2 levels, and VOCs. The integrated display allows the OR staff to monitor air quality in real time, making the invisible visible. The onboard Wi-Fi connection allows hospitals to take a proactive approach to monitoring the air quality in the operating room and drive operational compliance focused on quality. The air quality reports provided by Aerobiotix empower organizations through actionable information and root cause analysis. The reports provide insights into the amount of particle matter in the room and contributors to poor air quality such as VOC levels, room pressure changes, and CO2 levels. The Aerobiotix reports provide smart hospitals with the air quality data they need in order to make informed decisions. So how clean is your air today? Aerobiotix supports your goal of protecting patients and staff through data-driven healthcare solutions. Together, we have the opportunity to provide accountable care for a cleaner and safer tomorrow.